Whoa. Hey, what's up? I'm still on this comic book introduction kick. I just finished doing The Savage Dragon. I figured, you know what? While I still have the time and the ability to, will also do the Goon. So, I will admit right off the bat right now, I am actually, as we speak right now, am getting tired of the whole zombie theme, whatever. It could be the video game, the comic, the TV shows, movies, all that stuff. I am actually getting tired of the zombie theme genre as itself. I feel like, there's too much quantity that is killing the quality of the zombies. You know what I mean? However, I had this for a while, and this to this day is still a good read. It's still like a good refresher, so to speak, because there's more of a characterization that went into this work of the Goon. Now, I'm gonna flip this over to the back so you guys can sort of get more of a visual. Now, this comic book, I will say, it has more of that 1930s slash 1940s feel to it, the vibe, and the artwork, as you can see, is very colorful. It does fit the theme, and it is vibrant, but it's not like it's bright. You know what I mean? It doesn't take anything out of it. You get it fits the story that they're trying to portray. And as you can see, it is published by Dark Horse Books. And again, this pretty much is the story about the protagonist, the Goon, which is this gentleman right here. And that's the Buzzard, but I'll get into that later. And that's actually his best friend, Frankie, that he met back when he was a kid. Now, the one thing you will notice about the Goon is he is a very muscular, disfigured gentleman. Now, the thing is that in his origins, he was pretty much adopted into this circus life. And this woman that took care of him was, the bearded lady, pretty much the circus freaks. He fit with them very nicely, and they were his family. And, he pretty much grew up being loved by these freaks, but not so much by, regular people and everything. But, he was young and he was still learning and everything like that. Then this gentleman known as Labrazio decided to show up. He was pretty much a mobster type gentleman. He wasn't like, he had this book of names of people that owe him favors or owe him money. And he pretty much was using the circus as his hiding spot. And he pretty much threatened all these freaks, to do his bidding, everything like that. And the Goon pretty much learned that mobster type mentality. However, Labrazio did something he shouldn't have done, was kill his mother, which therefore caused the Goon to get pissed and kill Labrazio. However, what's funny about this, now, before I continue, if you're a fan of Monty Python type comedy style and stuff, it is heavily in here in the comic book. Now, there is more of the Goon. Like as you see, I got both the two volumes right here on the table as for right now. As you see, this is volume 1. And over here is volume 2. But like I said, I just got a preface to let you guys know that if you're not a fan of Monty Python comedy style, you're not really going to enjoy this comic as much. I mean, yeah, there's some jokes and some scenery that will definitely get you to smile. I mean, it may make you laugh out loud a few scenes, but it's really, really entertaining. And like I said, it actually gives these zombies more of a character, instead of just mindless walking, zombies. You actually see characterization out of them. Now, as I was saying, he took out, the Goon took out Labrazio, but in the name of Labrazio, because he ended up taking that book, because that book is really thick and it has a lot of names of people that owe favors and money to Labrazio, and because the Goon decided to make himself the right hand man of Labrazio, and he, in a way, did a one-man army in this little town or city where it's like everything is under his control, but everybody is like, oh, he worked for Labrazio. But the thing is, Labrazio is still dead. Now, the antagonist actually lives in this tower right here. He's known as the Nameless One. He's basically this preacher who has the ability to raise the dead from the grave and essentially make them zombies. But the personalities in these zombies sort of either stay intact. So if the person he raised up was a criminal who just loved betting on money and stealing, in zombie form, he still is that criminal who loves betting and stealing. So it's like I said, I like the fact that they give more of a characterization to these zombies. Some of them are like good, most of them are bad, and thanks to the Goon, their attacks and influence cannot hurt this or harm this town because the Goon is actually a huge threat to the Nameless One. And it actually pisses the Nameless One off because he's doing everything he can to pretty much take this town over. So that way his powers can grow, but it's not very effective. Now, this is the Buzzard. And the Buzzard is pretty much a man on revenge. He wanted to go after the priest. That pretty much changed him. And what I mean by that is that we all know what zombies are. They're mindless husk of human form that needs to eat human brains or just pretty much eat people, who are still alive, to either infect them or just to eat, to feast, to continue moving. The Buzzard is a lot different. You see, the priest, or now known as the Nameless One, because you never really know what his name is, and it's one of those things like Rumpelstiltskin where you're not supposed to know his name for some weird reason, and they did a good job of making sure there's a reason why his name cannot be known. But the Buzzard was a sheriff for his little town, and the priest came to his town. This was way back when the priest was a lot younger and probably was more. He was still doing evil things, like he was a novice. Well, more higher than a novice, but he's not as strong as he is now when he's facing the Goon. He pretty much made the town turn against him. Like, the Buzzard used to know what his name was. All he remembered was he was a sheriff, no longer a sheriff. And the town turned against him, and they actually became zombies, and it pissed him off. So he went after the priest, and the priest, out of fear that, this guy is going to kill him, used his zombie spell on him, but it's only supposed to work on the dead, right? Unfortunately, it turned him into a reverse zombie where it's like he's still human, but he had this insatiable thirst, this undying quest to eat zombies. He is a human that can eat zombies. And I think that is a huge different twist. So again, that gives him more of a character. And he's kind of like a hitman, a guy on revenge, still going after the Nameless One. This little guy is Frankie. He is literally like the Goon's sidekick, but best friend. He doesn't really do much, but he's more of a slapstick. But he do things where it's like kind of outlandish, kind of funny. But it's mostly the Goon. He's the captain of this whole show. And I feel like they did a good job with his character because as a kid, you can tell it's like society would have rejected him. They probably would have want nothing to do with him. But as he grew up with this Italian mob mentality and the way he sees things and the way he deal with problems, it's very, very, it's enlightening. It's it ground things to the core, but at the same time, the situation that he put in and the people that he's surrounded by, some of it is like outlandishly funny, but at the same time, you get what's going on. You understand the feel. Like, for example, look at this. He is punching a creature that looks like it's mostly made out of blob. This creature is shown in the comic, and there are other creatures and things of that nature in this comic book, like different monsters and stuff. And it's cool because it gives you a break from the zombies. And these zombies, like I said, it's not like they're, everyday normal, No, they have characters, but it breaks it up where it's like it doesn't oversaturate the comic series with zombies. And that's one of the things that I like about the Goon. And again, if you're looking for something that's different, something that's more entertaining, but at the same time it actually gives real good story and real good scenery, I recommend, checking out the Goon. Now, there are some characters in here who are people, regular people, where it's just like, wow. Like there is a girl that is actually attracted to the Goon, but it's like the Goon don't seem to get it. But how can you expect when the guy job have always been protecting this town, the city, and at the same time, it's basically trying to reconcile the death of his family, his mom, by going after the people whose name is in this book. Now, again, these are people that owe Labrazio favors and money, and the Goon feels that it is his right since he took out Labrazio, but in Labrazio's name is his right-hand man to be the collector. And it's just like, the concept, you will be like, well, that's kind of backward, but at the same time, the way they explain things, the way it's shown, you can't help but cheer him on to keep on going. Like, there's a spider that loves to gamble, and he owes the Goon $5, and for weeks on end, for some reason, cannot pay the Goon $5 that he owed. And that to me is kind of hilarious. So again, like I said, if you're not a fan of Monty Python comedy style, you're probably not gonna like that much of reading through this. But other than that, if you do want something that gives you a break from, the whole zombie genre, that's, like I said, it's too much quantity and it's starting to become so oversaturated, where in my opinion, it's making the whole zombie theme that used to be scary, that used to be engaging. I mean, there are shows, like I said, The Walking Dead, they're doing a good job of where, but the thing is, there's too many movies, there's too many, there's just too many, like in the video game. There's just way too many where it's like, okay, I'm getting tired of these walking husks of people, and there's no much of a like, I don't feel that scared from them no more. But the Goon, like I said, is a completely different twist, and it really, in a way, is one of those few titles that give you a reason to have some sort of appreciation to these zombies, even though it's actually funny. So, like I said, I mean, right now, as you see, I got, this is volume 1, and this is volume 2. And yeah, it's not like a straight on full blown story. These are trade paperbacks, which means there are many comics of them, and there are other volumes of the Goon. But I highly recommend checking this out, because if you need a break from the whole zombie genre, and I'm starting to beat a dead horse, but I would definitely recommend this. So, yeah, that's the comic book introduction of the Goon, and as I said, this is the Goon. And if you're a fan of the 1930s, 1940s type scenery, the mentality, the characters, like there are some side characters, and even the not the main characters, but they're, the supporting cast. It's just like, wow, but the stories in itself is what make the Goon, for me, I recommend it for you guys to check out. Alright then, later.